welcome back to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. I'm Moses Wartooth. I'm back from the dead. I'm here with Justin Allen. He's never gone anywhere, but today is Inauguration Day.
Yeah, I took a few liberties on our last episode. So how's that human trafficking ring in Southeast Asia going?
Hey, all I'm saying, do not answer voluntary Craigslist ads, because they probably won't pan out the way you thought.
It's like, Moses is dead. I have taken over this podcast. This is mine.
There were times in my life I thought I might have been dead. Waking up in a bathtub, sore body parts.
Yeah, you got some weird stories.
Never fun.
I'll give you that one. But shit, man. First thing to talk about, like right off the cuff, dude, inauguration. Like, holy shit. I didn't think he was going to make it in one piece, to be quite honest with you.
I mean, they had it inside. It was too cold for him. That was a
too
smart
cold.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want nobody taking some pop shots.
But. Yeah, dude. No shit, man. Dude, did you watch his speech?
I did. It was good.
I haven't gotten through all of it yet, man. Was there, like, any actual good shit in there, or was it just, like, fluff?
No, it was good. He basically got straight into brass tacks. He was like, there's a new sheriff in town. He was like, all this shit he was like, we're here. This is going to be the best America ever. He brought up, he was like, I'm immediately declaring the border a state of emergency. We're going down there. We're fixing stuff. He's like, all the people that are in California burning, I'm sorry. He was like, we're going to actually help you, unlike previous legislation who has not done shit. He brought up the North and South Carolina issues as well, of like from the flooding and stuff. They fucked those people over. Yeah. He's going to help them out. Another another thing that blew me out, I was like, what the fuck? But he was like, all the military members that got booted out for not wanting to take the COVID vaccine, they are going to be reinstated if they want to, and they get full back pay from that time.
Fuck it, I'm going back to the military.
Full back pay.
That's 5 years of pay, dude.
So...
All right, I didn't like leave because of the vaccine. That was a factor. When I got out, it was still voluntary.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, you got like 90 days and shit. And there was a plethora of reasons on why I got out of the military, but that was one of them where I was just like, nah, fuck you, man. And like the thing is like I'd already taken like a laundry list of vaccines with those guys, but something...
That at least they were proven like over time, not whipped out in 2 months.
That and some of them they were optional. And I was like, wait, now you're going to start telling me, like, hey, this is mandatory and it's not been adequately tested. Like that Project Warp Speed, while it was, great in its own right, like getting things moving. But the reality is, I want more than a couple of months.
Yeah. This shit is impossible to tell what it's going to do to you long term in a couple of months. That doesn't work.
But like I saw people getting out of the military over, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, is this really like a thing?" And then like some people, I knew people who had like legitimate arguments against it. They were like, okay, there's health reasons, but then there was some people, quite a few people. They're like, "I've already fucking had it. Like,
why am I getting vaccinated?
Yeah, why am I getting vaccinated again?" So, fucking good on them, man, and like rightfully so, man. I mean, I knew guys that were getting their careers fucked. They were like, it takes 20 years to retire from the military. They were like 15, 16 years in. And they were like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? So, I don't know, good for it. It would be kind of wild if I ended up back in there and, got a cut, like, what? That probably, I don't even do the math. That'd probably be close to like $200,000 or some shit, But I wonder, like, is it just based on base pay, or do they actually add in, like, where were you stationed at? What was the COLA, like the cost of living allowance? Like
I'm sure it's base pay. It probably goes to, like, pay. Benefits type shit.
And then that means that the pay drops significantly, so we'll see. I don't know. That's good though. That's probably like, oh shit. But I don't know, man. So you said it was like pretty good though?
It was good. He he wasn't fucking around. He's like, day one, I'm in here now. Things are different.
That's good.
And actually seemed he brought up the fact of us going to Mars, and at that point the camera shot to Elon, and he looked at the camera and was like doing this stuff.
He's like, going to fucking Mars, bitch.
Of course, Elon was back to, and then they had like the Republicans, of course. JD Vance was front row, obviously, and then like Elon was back there. Then other Republican Speaker of the House, that kind of shit, and then the other side was like Biden, Harris,
the losers,
the Clintons.
Why are the Clintons still showing up to this shit?
Bush Sr. was back there. Obama, Michelle, she was absent.
Yeah, she was making kind of a big deal about not being there, right?
I don't know. Oh, you're talking about like trying to take a stance on this is bullshit. I don't want to be here for this.
I think it was something like that. There was like some bullshit about how she's on like an extended vacation in Hawaii and like couldn't make it. But I think
that's fine. I didn't want to see her ass there. Anyways.
I think she like posted something like some underhanded shit, like talking shit.
I'm sure. Okay. But dude, it was funny because multiple times there was a full standing ovation for what Trump was saying,
and they just stay seated.
Biden and Harris. Their ass never got up.
Yeah.
The only time that the full room was at a standing ovation was whenever Trump announced that yesterday the hostages had been released.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. And of course, because like we'd already talked about, Biden was basically trying to take credit for that shit.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that unified the entire room, and everyone actually stood up and clapped for that.
Dude, the hostage like release shit and like the ceasefire is kind of wild. Like, just look at the timing.
Yeah.
Like, they know, like, just straight up, they're like, okay, this dude's not fucking around. Like, we have to stop this, like, right now. So I just think it's very, like, I don't believe in coincidence at all, like, in any aspect of my life.
Especially not in that shit.
But the timing of that is like, shit. You know? So I don't know.
He brought up changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Name change.
Yeah. That's dope.
He hinted at taking back the Panama Canal.
I would actually like to see that.
So he brought up some excellent points. Again, it was extremely expensive. Yeah. We lost 34,000 American lives building that shit. I didn't know that. Yeah. But after that, he was like, and then China has a hold of it. They're ripping their American ships off. So he was like, no more.
Yeah, dude, they charge us more than they do the Chinese to use it. And we built the fucking thing.
Yeah, we built the motherfucker.
You know? And then, like, I don't know. You can call me petty or whatever. Like, at first when you said it, I was like, okay, this is kind of a funny joke or whatnot. But the reality is, once, like, the president of Panama started talking shit, then I was like, oh, okay, now this is becoming a principle thing.
And they haven't held up any of their fucking bargains on none of that shit.
They never do, dude.
No.
They never do, dude. Central America is fucked, man. I know we both been down there. That's a fucked place.
You ain't missing out. I mean,
yeah, and I've never been to Panama, but I'll tell you right now, like, Honduras is not a fucking place to go. Yeah, dude, I've been down there. I was like, dude, get me the fuck out of here.
Panama's like the actual nicer part of South America, even. To say that very loosely.
Yeah.
But
have you been to Panama?
I haven't. I've been to Honduras as well, but that place is a shithole.
Dude, Honduras, I'm pretty sure.
That shit's dangerous as fuck.
Dude, I'm like 90% sure I almost got kidnapped with my buddy James there.
I mean, if you go out at night, that's a very likely.
There was like guys trying to get us in their van and shit. I was like, no, what are we doing, man? And then, like, dude, I was like, fuck this, man, you know. And then later I found out from, like, the State Department's website, there was, like, a shit ton of, like, organ and human trafficking that was taking place in that part of Honduras. I was like, oh, dude, they might have been coming for a kidney or a heart, dude. Like, I gotta get out of here, man. You know, like, fuck Honduras, man.
Yeah.
But Panama, I don't know. We'll see what the fuck happens, dude. At a minimum, I just think it should be free for us to operate.
Yeah, that
or operate at
fair,
or operate at cost, like whatever it costs to actually operate and pay those people to, you know, because I mean you got engineers, they got comptroller. I mean you name I mean it's like a whole system. So, but it's like, okay, say it costs X dollars to actually run at the bare minimum. That's what the American people should be charged to use that. American companies, in my opinion.
And another thing that he brought up, which I thought was awesome. So you know how we have the IRS. He's going to bring the ERS, the External Revenue Service.
What?
So he's going to start basically, like, you know how the IRS is always in our shit? The External Revenue Service is going to get into other countries' shit that aren't paying us.
Really?
That aren't paying our tariffs, that aren't paying any of this new shit that he's dropping down. He's creating legislation and he's creating jobs that are specifically going to target those people that are not paying our due, man.
Dude. The world is about to radically change, dude. Yeah. Like, a lot of shit is going to be coming up. I mean, we've been saying it for months on this show and stuff, and we're getting, like, pretty good at fucking predicting shit. And I was just like, I think there's a couple episodes, and I was just like, dude, if you got skeletons in your goddamn closet, now is the time to be cleaning that shit out, dude, because I think the fucking party's over, man.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, dude. And a lot of people are looking real nervous walking around today, man. Did you say anything about because this is a big topic. This actually kind of affected us, even though we quit using TikTok, but just like other people we worked with. Did you say anything about the TikTok ban or anything? He didn't.
No, as far as he didn't mention TikTok. As far as I've heard, like out of that speech, that it's back. Like there's no.
Yeah. Because it was down for like not even 24 hours.
I think it was about 12 hours.
Yeah, I kind of put my foot in my mouth because like on my personal Facebook, I was like, TikTok's officially banned. Good. Fuck the Chinese. And then it was like, as soon as I posted that, it was like TikTok was reinstated. I was like, shit. And like I can't take it down. I can't be a bitch, you know. So.
I mean, it's too. Well, I know neither one of us like TikTok. It's too big of a fucking monster, and there's too many financial incentives to just keep it going.
Yeah, I saw some shit where Trump posted on Truth Social. He was saying that I guess one of his executive orders was basically protecting TikTok to some degree, and like anyone who helped keep it up, and like all this other shit. And then he said basically his deal to them is American company has to own at least 50% of that corporation. He was like, if you can do that. Then you can still operate.
Everything can go normal.
Yeah. Which is like, I see what he's doing from like a surveillance standpoint, because then that gives us the ability, like our intelligence agencies, to just dig in their ass whenever we want. And that's what it's all about and shit. And it be legal to do so. So
something funny was the big American TikTokers, after that shit got banned, they were attempting to get on the Chinese version of TikTok on their platform. China was like, hell no, you dumbasses, we ain't putting your shit on our stuff.
Yeah,
because they only want positivity and like actual learning experiences and something that produces production for society, not just stupid mindless bullshit.
Dude, it's a toxic fucking wasteland, dude. I actually hate it, man.
I do too. Yeah, American TikTok is garbage.
While I do like enjoy doing our shorts and stuff like that, like I do think they're funny and like they're clearly comedy and satire, and like it's just like some bonkers off the wall shit. There's something different about that TikTok shit, man. I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, there's a lot of like, I mean, call it like it is. I mean, there's a lot of like fake news that's on there. Like people actually being like, oh, here's the truth about this, this, and this, or whatever. And then it's like it's bullshit. And then it would be like health stuff, political shit, like whatever. And as someone who literally just, you know, has a side gig, aka this podcast, of peddling bullshit and openly doing it, I'm telling you, like that's fucked up, man. Like what they're doing, because they're trying to pawn it off as truth.
Yeah.
You know, like at least like when we talk about shit, it'll be factual, and then we'll have our opinions separate, and then we'll also make fun of it too. Make it pretty clear, like, okay, this is real, this isn't, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but like our shit, you know, we always label it as like satire, and people just think it's serious or whatever, and I'll be like, all right, like, you know.
I mean, those idiots, you can tell them anything and they're gonna believe it because they don't fucking know
like,
or do research or think for themselves or anything else.
Lead a fucking horse to water, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So we'll see, man. What happens with those guys? I don't think it's going to go anywhere personally. I was optimistic about it. Just like from like a greedy perspective, I was like, oh, that's less people on TikTok. That means more people have to flock towards Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all that shit where we are.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's going to increase our numbers. Like, fuck it. Who gives a shit? You know, like burn this stuff. And then we're also like pretty patriotic, and I'm just on principle. I don't want to use a fucking Chinese company for our shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel it pisses me off that they're infecting our youth, man.
That's what
like
it is. That's what it is. I think we're just getting older, man. You're starting to like really think about it. You're like, whoa, hold on. Like like even though you and I don't have kids, like, I mean, I got like, you know, nieces and stuff, but dude, I think about that shit now. I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, I'm like, anytime I see a kid just watching mindless bullshit, I'm like, come on, the whole world outside, just get out.
It's like I was watching Lord of the Rings the other day. It's like one of my favorite series. And have you ever seen it?
No.
You never sat down? Okay.
It's too long.
Yeah. yeah. Well, I watched the extended version. 14 fucking hours of film time, bro. Yeah, dude. And so there is a scene where in that whole series where Gandalf's talking to Bilbo, and he's like telling Bilbo, because Bilbo's like obsessed with his books and stuff, like a hobbit just lives in the hole in the ground, basically. But scared to leave the Shire, like their little like safe community and stuff.
Man, it's a nice place. I've seen that.
Yeah. And Gandalf is just like telling him like the world's out there, Bilbo. It's not in your books and maps and stuff. And it's like this all like optimistic, you know. And it's just literally that's what it's like. It's just like, you know, it's not behind your fucking.
It's not in your little fucking TikTok though. You little idiot, get out there.
You little shit. So, but I was fucking happy it was gone. I was getting a kick out of watching everyone blow up about it.
Yeah.
Like,
especially grown adults,
dude. Yeah, that was like alarming to me.
Like, some of them I get it from a finance. Like, if they were actually big and making money, then yeah, I get that. But if you're just a fucking idiot that watches that shit and you were upset about it, man, do something else with your life. Get out of here.
Yeah, dude. There was a lot of that going on, and I was like, what the fuck? Like people in their like 50s.
Yeah. Like
in our local community, like on Facebook pages, like freaking out, talking all this shit.
What are we gonna do? I don't know. Fucking watch shit on YouTube instead. Who cares?
Well, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Dumpster Diaries Podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell so you know every time we release a new thing.
Yeah, dude. So, I don't know. We'll see what the fuck happens with that. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It could just be more of like a show of force. Like, we can shut you down if we want. You know, play ball with us, or we'll take matters in our own hand. But who fucking knows? Because I think TikTok, they willingly pulled it. I think that's what happened. They pulled it on the 19th. And they were like, in preparation, blah, 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 we're going ahead and doing this. And they wrote like a whole statement or whatever. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. So that wasn't the government
like shutting them down.
Yeah.
They were voluntary.
Yeah. Maybe it was just highly encouraged. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? But that was a lot of backlash. I was like, holy shit, dude. But I just wanted to see what would happen to the internet if TikTok was gone for any significant time.
I would have been happier if it would have been shut down for like a month, like a couple weeks, a month, like enough to actually see the repercussions of what would happen. Like, I don't know.
Dude, it was
maybe the world would have been a little bit better place.
People were like going through withdrawals and shit. You know, like, oh, my TikTok. And I was like, God, dude, it is so sad. Like, you're plugged in. And like, it's crazy because I'll talk shit about these influencers and podcasters and all this stuff and all these people who make these like TikTok videos and stuff. And the thing is, like, we do this shit, but I just feel like we do it differently. Like, we're like not like locked into that shit. Like, it's a hobby. We enjoy it. But it doesn't govern our lives.
We talk about shit that we want to talk about. We don't talk about what the fuck is trending or whatever the hell. So.
And there's like a small amount of people that, I don't know, apparently like what we talk about. So that's kind of cool, you know. But I don't know, man. Just making dumbass videos, dances, and shit like that, dude. I just like, what the fuck is happening, man? You know? I don't know. I felt like it's an entire generation of Americans just being watered down, you know?
Yeah.
Like, as far as intelligence goes.
That reminds me of the watered down thing. Trump was like, there's only two genders, man and woman. He's like, we're changing that shit too. He was like, all the military bullshit. He was like, we're going back. He was like, the military members need to be training and doing productive things. He was like, there's going to be no more DEI, more any of that fucking inclusivity bullshit. He's like, we're just going to get back doing what we're supposed to do.
Sure. And like, while I'll admit, like, you know, there's been times in American history where you could say like DEI stuff, where like affirmative action were important. They did play their roles, but something has happened where it has gotten out of control.
It just went off the rails. We got to reel that shit back in.
Yeah. You know, and like, was it important like after the civil rights movement to ensure that like people of color like were giving equal opportunity to actually do shit? Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Now we took that shit to a whole nother fucking degree and then started making it mandatory. Now that's where I had an issue with that, you know, but it's just the same fucking bullshit. And then, like, I noticed this, when I was in the military, I noticed a significant change. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, this is the one institution you shouldn't fuck with like that. Yeah. Like,
because it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, who cares what Pepsi does or, like, Coca-Cola or Apple or IBM?
Yeah, or fucking Ralph Lauren wants to celebrate Pride Month. Have at it, but not the military.
Yeah, dude, it's like, you realize our job is to, I don't know, fucking kill people. So, like, let's get back to our roots, who we really are.
Man, woman, kid, frying pan, whatever. Like, you got a job to do. It doesn't like.
Man. It should be pretty simple, pretty straightforward, or whatever. But I don't know, man. We'll see. There's definitely some changes coming. But I do want to talk about the pardons that Biden issued. That was where it was getting interesting to me. So, Dr. Fauci was on there.
Of course.
Yeah. Who else was it? Anyone involved in the January 6th committee was on there. Was it Liz Cheney was on there too? Yeah. And I was like, bro, how much more obvious does a crime have to be? You don't pardon innocent people. That's not what that shit is designed for, dude. And so, I don't know. I was kind of fucking pissed about that. I was like, yo, like, we need fucking answers, you know? Now, there can still be investigations and shit can still come out, but these people can't be criminally charged.
No legal way.
Yeah. So, I'm sure there'll be some digging into it. But I don't know. Also, on the flip side, too, I think it'd be kind of dope if Trump was just like, fuck it, we're done with that.
I think that's what he's going to do.
You know? I showed you once. Yeah. I'll show you again.
And he was very, like, he got up there, he was like, drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
And he talked about the possibility of us actually selling our oil to other countries.
Good.
So he was like, we're sitting on the most fucking, like, most reserves out of anywhere in the world, and we're just fucking wasting them. He's like, we're going to fill up our reserves back from buying the dumbass draining them. And he's like, after that, then we're actually going to start producing more than we can even use and start exporting it out. So
yeah. Still, man.
Around. He said he's going to cancel the fucking Green New Deal.
Good.
So.
Good. Fuck yeah, dude. We're going to see. God. Ooh, man. This week's going to be wild, man. There's some fucking people getting nervous up in Congress, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm fucking excited, man. But, yeah, there's definitely some shit that went on with all that Jan 6, those pardons and stuff, the Dr. Fauci stuff. And I was just like, oh, you're just looking out for your buddies, man. That's all.
Which is fine. I mean, but Trump, like, if is there any of those, like, people, like, the people that were involved in January 6th, is there any of them still locked up? I think some of them were. Yeah. Trump needs to day one immediately release all of those motherfuckers.
There's a lot of them that are actually still in jail right now.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of them that have had criminal charges where, like, they basically have done time and they're out and stuff. They still have it on their record and stuff. Like, they're convicted felons now. And so one thing interesting that I saw a few weeks ago with J.D. Vance, he was doing an interview, I think it was on Fox News, and he said that essentially anyone who was a part of January 6th that didn't commit an act of violence they're going to pardon.
Which is fine. I mean,
I'm totally on board.
And on my book, none of them committed any fucking violence.
Now, if you beat somebody in the streets, that's a different fucking story, you know? But if you just walked into a public building, go fuck yourself.
It was within roped and armed guards were on either side ushering you in. Yeah, I don't think you really did anything wrong.
Especially when it's like proven that the FBI was there and was encouraging that shit to happen. It's like, okay, what the fuck is this really about?
We've all seen the videos. It literally looks like a high school field trip into the Capitol. Like, you're just walking
it's like
around,
waving and shit.
Yeah, dude.
You know, sure. Some people vandalize stuff. Absolutely. You know, that's fucking no secret.
Like I said, high school field trip.
But, you know, I don't know. I think that's going to be really
but
interesting.
for Biden's bitch ass to pardon the people that were looking into it, but still not do shit about the people that were involved in it. It's some real chicken shit stuff, man.
Yeah, dude. He's just bailing out the puppet masters, dude. And it's like, okay. Like, I'm telling you, they all fucking knew what they were doing.
For sure.
They all fucking knew what they were doing, man. And they knew they weaponized the DOJ. Oh, another one was fucking General Milley got fucking pardoned too, man. So we'll see what the fuck comes out of that. Because that, dude, I was like, whew, man. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and call all these people traitors, but, you know, fucking shoe fits, man.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. It's definitely... times of change are upon us, right?
Yeah, and really, man, I'm willing to overlook all the past bullshit if we just start over and start doing what we need to do.
As long as both sides play fair and just be like, okay, moving forward, this is what we do. Because the last thing I want to do is see this shit kicked down the road for another 4 years.
Exactly.
And be like, when it's all said and done, we've been dealing with this shit for what, like 12 years?
Yeah. No one fucking cares. Like, just get over it and start doing productive shit.
Yeah, dude. It's like, especially if you want to add like the 2 years of him campaigning before he even ran the first time, all the fuckery that was coming out with that shit. So you're really looking at what, 14 goddamn years of doing? I'm tired of this shit, man. Like, just fucking do some good shit, you know? But right now, I mean, it's open season in America. I mean, the Republicans control the White House. They control both chambers of Congress. They got the courts. I mean, if there was ever a time to, like, you wanted to get anything done, now is the time to do it.
They need to hit the fucking ground, which they are, but they need to hit the ground running and just start passing, signing, doing everything they can to get shit going in the right direction. Dude, and then after that, they can get grinded to a standstill and have to fight with that shit later.
I bet it's the most like adrenaline, like pumping feeling right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Being in that fucking White House.
Yeah, dude. Like whether you're a Democrat or Republican for totally different reasons. But you're feeling something.
One's really happy and excited. One is scared.
Nervous as shit. Yeah.
Just nervous as shit, dude. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes out of that shit, man. That's not looking too good for some people.
No.
But imagine being like somebody, you know, there has to be at least one. Like when Biden's firing off these pardons, right? In which every president does that their last 24 hours in office. Like they'll pardon like the crooks and shit. And so you know there's got to be at least like one dude that was expecting to get a pardon.
Yeah, but he forgot about it.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, dude. And then it's like if you wanna look at something crazy, it's like, okay, when you want to talk about these pardons and shit like that, right? Like Biden now has a record for like the most pardons for any president. And if there ever was a president you could just sneak some shit by, it's probably him.
Yeah.
Like he has no idea what he's signing. So he's just like, fuck it, I'll pardon these people.
Like, whoever was handing him those papers could have easily put their own shit
in there. It's like, it's like, I'm not going to fucking jail. You know? So, dude. I think there was a lot of that shit going on.
I'm sure there was.
So
we'll see. I don't blame those people. I'd be trying to think of something self. I'd be like, let me set myself up real quick. Like, you sign this, buddy?
Yeah. They're like moving his hand for him and shit. Like some weekend at Bernie's.
He's fucking asleep.
Yeah, dude.
Some fucking weekend at Bernie's shit. Like,
just sign right there, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fucked up scribbled signature and shit. You know, it's print. It's not even cursive. You know,
Joe Biden.
Holding it like this and shit, like a fucking crayon. You know. Yeah, dude. I don't know. There had to be somebody who slipped some shit in there.
I'm sure.
I mean, he signed like 1,500 of the motherfuckers, right? So it's like, I mean, dude, if I just, all right, I like to think I'm a pretty moral person, right? I got like some standards and principles and shit. But I'm telling you right now, if I worked in that White House during those 4 years, even if I didn't do anything wrong, bro, I'm gonna be fucking real tempting to type up my own part and just slide that shit in there, dude. To be on the safe side.
You know? Just for a little peace of mind, man. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, dude. Like, Justin Allen's gonna be fine, dude. Like, we're gonna be good, dude. There's probably like some staffer, like all he did was get like fucking bottled water and coffee for people, and he just like slid his shit in there just to be on the safe side. Like, all right, I'm not fucking going to jail.
It's like expunged of all charges, future and past. Like,
yeah, like a total golden ticket.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking hang that shit on my wall, dude. I'd start like admitting to shit and stuff too, like crazy wild shit or whatever. Yeah, I'd just be like, fuck it, it's out. Like, write a fucking book. I'd start making shit up, dude, just to fuck with people.
Go on a fucking podcast.
Yeah, like, you want to know the real story of Ukraine? Like, let's do this.
Be like, me and my boy Joey B. I'm gonna call him. We were cool like
tight.
that.
Big man, big guy. You know? Like, fuck,
Let's
dude.
just say I was getting 1% of that 10%.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I don't like talking about it. So, but no, so they did the inauguration in the inside. Yeah. I figured that is because like that's one thing I wanted to bring up too, man. Was dude, like we like hardly really ever talk about it unless it's like crazy natural disasters. But there's like a huge winter storm that's hitting America, and everyone is freaking the fuck out right now, dude. Even like where we're at. So like where we're at, ladies and gentlemen, is like a rural like Texas community, right? And so, dude, if it even gets to freezing, people lose their goddamn minds. Like
if snow falls from the sky, every school is canceled.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't stick.
Happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, because I think it's like tomorrow.
Yeah, the universities and shit have already canceled for tomorrow. But
it's like the first week of school.
It's totally clear out there, man. There's no precipitation, no nothing. It's fine. I drove here. It's okay.
So I'm like, all right, what are we doing here? But I don't know, man. We'll see with that shit. But, you know, like now I get a little worried because, what was it? It was 21 when we had the snowpocalypse.
The major one?
Yeah. It like wiped out like half the Texas power grid and shit. So when it starts getting cold like that and they start talking about snow, I get a little fucking worried. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, dude, I can handle like the cold is fine, but whenever you don't have electricity, you can't escape the cold. That shit sucks,
It's
man.
in your fucking bones, man.
Yeah, dude, you're just bundled up in a bed in a sleeping bag, like dying.
And it's like everyone in our community, like if it just snows a little bit, like, dude, people they just lose their fucking minds. They can't drive to save their lives.
And another thing, they can't drive, but yet the first thing they want to do is go to Walmart.
Yeah.
So they're like, we need supplies, we're gonna fucking die. All the water is sold out, the toilet paper has been gone for 2 weeks, of course, but like...
Yeah. And it's like, we live in a community that's literally like based around like a couple of chain restaurants and a Walmart and a Target. That's about it. That's about all we got. And so, but it's just like these people have to go. And then like there'll be the one people out there like really on the front lines like when this shit starts happening are fucking DoorDash drivers, dude.
Yeah.
Like those guys are like
slipping and sliding around.
Yeah, they're like fucking warriors, man. They're trying to get you your fucking Wendy's, dude. And they're just like fucking Grand Theft Auto drifting and shit on like a highway doing 65 and a 50.
Watching TikTok with the other hand.
So, gotta give it to them, man. Like, you know, they got to get that $7 tip or whatever the fuck it's going to be. Another thing too, man, has been going on. Like, this is really like outside of like our show, but I just want to bring it up to you. So Moses and I do follow local pages on Facebook where people like rant and rave and shit in our community. Have you seen like the DoorDashers? Like they're getting a little lippy, man.
Are you talking about like their tips stuff?
Yeah, dude. Like they're talking some shit, dude. And they're just like, this isn't acceptable if you can't afford to tip more than like at least $10 and you shouldn't order any food and shit like that.
But I guess unless you cash tip, I don't DoorDash, but like if I was to get something from DoorDash, don't you input how much you're going to pay them before they ever accept the job?
Yes.
So they just don't have to take the job? So then
they could just be like, no, we're not doing this. And that's like my argument with it. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, like if you don't want if it's not enough for you, then don't fucking take it.
Yeah, dude. And like,
I mean, I don't blame them. I ain't doing shit for $2 either. Like, I wouldn't do it either. But
drive 30 minutes out in the middle of nowhere to deliver some fucking McDonald's and make $4 on it. Yeah, I mean, I get it.
And she pays with a fucking EBT card and do nothing. He's like, fuck you, get out of here.
But yeah, I don't know, man. They're getting like a little like, I see both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're getting a little like lippy in our local community and
just
shit.
calling people out.
Yeah, dude, it's like they're about like this close to forming a militia, dude. Like I'm fucking a little scared. I mean, these are capable people. I mean, they're out there driving in a fucking quarter-inch of snow for Christ's sake, man. You know, they're risking their lives so we can get our Chipotle.
Yeah.
You know, these people are on the front lines. They really, honestly, might just be American heroes.
They need to be pardoned. I mean.
But yeah, dude, they're getting like a little fucking aggressive too. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I got on there. I started talking some shit. I was like, whatever. Like, let's see what the fuck this is about. Now, anyone has any kind of job, like whatever it is you do, good for you, man.
Absolutely.
Like to see it. Like that's
respect anyone that wants to go fucking make some money.
Sure, absolutely. But my argument with that is, you knew what the fuck you were getting into.
Yeah.
You just wanted to have a job that was super flexible and on your time. You can decide when you work and all this other shit. And it's based on tipping, and there's going to be an opportunity cost trade-off to that.
That was the same in the regular service industry anyway, if you're a waiter or a waitress.
Sure. You know? And so I got on there, kind of got in an argument with a dude or whatever. I think it was actually a girl. And she was just being really nasty about it, you know? And so it was just pissing me off even more.
Was she a DoorDash driver?
Yeah. Yeah.
You should be like, what's your info? I want you to deliver me some fucking Wendy's.
0 tip.
Yeah. You know?
Cancel the order 5 minutes before it gets there.
Yeah, like as she's pulling on your road, just cancel it.
You know? But she was getting a little like fucking lippy, man. She was talking shit. And she was talking about how she like went and picked up some food and they tipped her $7. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, let's look at the reality here. Like DoorDash already puts fees and stuff in there to ensure you get money. Even if someone doesn't tip, you still will make money from this. Now, it's not going to be a lot, but you still will make that. Then on top of that, say it's a $7 tip. So you're looking at about $10, right? For maybe, if you hit it just right, you could probably do 30 minutes worth of work.
Yeah, depending on where they live.
Do that twice an hour. You're making $20 an hour, and you don't have a fucking boss. Like, you don't have to go to an office.
Yeah,
you don't have to put on a uniform. Yeah, dude. And so I'm kind of like, shut the fuck up. But anyway, she wouldn't shut up. So I was like, all right, man, like, you don't want to do this. And so then I just basically just started letting her have it. I'm just like, hey, like, if you are that concerned about cash, I listed these big businesses like Pilgrim's Pride, like Chicken Plant, like all this other stuff, Georgia Pacific, all this stuff. I was like, these people are hiring, and a lot of them are starting at between $20 and $30 an hour, depending on education and experience. And I was like, and it's consistent, and it comes with benefits, and it's everything you need.
What you see is what you
right
get.
There.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do it. You'd rather just bitch because people aren't just throwing away money willy-nilly, you know? So I don't know. I do appreciate the grind. I do appreciate the hustle. But at the same time, it's like, don't bitch to me when you knew damn well what the fuck you were getting into.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there's an easy solution to that problem. You just don't want to do it.
Yeah. Or
just
don't accept the job. Pass it on to somebody else.
That's my thing. Is like, if you fucking know what you're getting into already, come on, bro. Like, come on.
But to just screenshot the person and then blow them up and just bitch at it. Like, dude.
That's what was pissing me off.
Shut up and take another job.
Yeah, you know. So, but I mean, I don't know. I know people who do it, and they actually make decent money doing it. But they're like, they'll do it during peak hours, and they're like grinding like a motherfucker. And they're taking
like they treat it like a job. Not something.
And they'll do it for like 8 hours, and they'll have like these peak windows. Like, okay, like I start at lunchtime, I'm gonna run through dinner, and they're like yada yada yada. I'll pick up multiple orders every hour.
Yeah.
And they can make like a decent chunk of change in a day. Like, it's pretty legit.
I would think that shit would be pretty lucrative if you lived in a big city.
Oh God, could you imagine?
Like,
especially somewhere that's built vertical and not like lateral. Like,
some dude on the fucking 37th floor wants a McDonald's. Like, it's only
might
two,
have 4
it's 2
orders in
blocks
that
away.
complex,
exactly.
dude. You know, like,
you can fucking rake it in.
Yeah, I'd be like, hell yeah, go get your shit. Don't worry about it, you know. But I don't know. It's just some poor university students just got to get you your fucking Popeyes to you. You know, well, there's a goddamn snowpocalypse going on for $7 an hour, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know, man. But yeah, the fucking winter storm, I guess, is becoming an issue for like all of the South really right now. Yeah. So we'll see what the fuck happens with that. I'm sure like a lot of people will lose their minds or whatever. I mean, our community seems to be popping off with it, which is exciting to me.
As long as we don't lose power, that's the main thing.
Yeah. We'll see what the fuck happens with that, man. Dude. Oh, fuck. I did want to tell you this. So, you know, I see movies all the time and shit. Man. So, like, basically, about a little tidbit information about Justin is any movie that's in theaters, I've seen it. Like, I just go to the theaters a lot, right? And I went to go see a movie I want to talk about. It is the biggest piece of shit I have ever seen in my life, okay? I thought that Homestead movie was the biggest piece of shit until I saw this movie. Dude, Homestead was fucking bad, dude. It was bad. Like I was like, I almost left multiple times during the movie. But we went to go see that Wolfman movie. My God, dude. I didn't think they could do worse. in Hollywood. And I was like, holy shit, this is actually a piece of shit.
Did it have like any big name people?
It had the one chick, I can't remember her name, but she's famous for being in the TV show Ozarks. She's like the really curly head blonde girl. Yeah. Anyway, I just can't remember her name right now. Now, I will give this. Her acting is good. Like, she can show a lot of emotion and be very fucking intense. But essentially, it's about this fucking family that goes to like rural Oregon, and there's some disease that's going around that kind of turns people into werewolves and shit. And then it's like the dad catches it, and then he has this weird moment where he's like trying to fight off other werewolves to like defend his family, and then he can like still knows what's up, and then she has to shoot him in the face. And that's just kind of like
put him down old Yeller style.
Yeah, he like wants it and shit. There's still like a part of him that's human and stuff, and then it's just like all the special effects are dog shit.
Oh, okay, that was my next question. Is like
they tried to go old school, like some Wes Craven shit, old school.
Oh yeah,
it was all like legit latex and fake blood.
I like that
shit.
Shit. It was done right.
Yeah, but it
was
just dog shit. It just didn't look good. I was like, what the fuck is this piece of shit? But so I've been seeing like on the internet, people have been ranting and raving about it, and they've been trying to promote the shit out of it. And I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna go see it. And it was just the biggest piece of shit. So right now, so far in 2025, The Wolfman is the biggest piece of shit I've seen. The second biggest piece of shit is Homestead. Now, Gladiator 2 and Wicked were pretty good. I'll give people that. But those other two, man, fucking stay away, dude. Stay away. There's going to be like one person that sat through this episode and get that and be like, damn, don't go see that movie, man. That movie's a piece of shit. You know? But yeah, I almost fucking
if you can
left.
Save even one person from seeing it, you've done a good job.
You know, and I know we've talked about like film projects and stuff, and I'm like, dude, like, come on. Like, I feel like with our resources, it's in our capability to make like a decent short film or even a full-fledged movie eventually. Like, I really do. And I see this stuff, and I'm like, nobody in the writer's room, like, doing all that shit, nobody was like, you just want to fucking call it? You know? Like, this is going to fucking bomb, you know? And it's, like, funny because you always get, like, these B-level actors and shit that, like, know the gig is up. But they're, like, committed because they're trying to get paid and shit. Like, I was listening to Tim Dillon talk to Bobby Lee and George Santino, is that his name? The Bad Friends podcast.
I think,
Whiskey Ginger.
Yeah.
And so like Bobby Lee was talking to Tim Dillon, and he was like, because Tim Dillon was in the new Joker movie, which
was he?
Yeah, it was a horrible movie. It was dude, you haven't seen him talking shit about this? Dog, it's fucking funny, man. Like, cause he openly is just like, this is the biggest piece of shit you've ever seen. And it was before the movie even came out. Like, he was talking shit. He was like, dude. Because it's the Joker movie, and it's got Joaquin Phoenix in it, which is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, I like it.
But what they fucked up is they put Lady Gaga in it, and they had her like singing, and they turned this whole fucking thing into a musical. They turned it into a goddamn joke. Yeah, that's what it is. And it's the most like cringe shit ever. And she's like, oh, we're both crazy, we're in love, let's sing about it, and all this other shit. And then she like, I don't know, it's just it's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. Like, the first like 10 minutes, you're like, this might be a good movie, and then they start singing, and you're like, what the fuck is? You're like, what the fuck is this? You know, they cuck you into thinking that it's a goddamn fucking legit movie, and then it turns out to be
superhero
a
shit,
shitty musical, you know. But Tim Dillon's in it because the Joker gets locked up in was it Arkham?
Arkham City.
Arkham City, like fucking mental institution and shit.
Yeah.
And
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, it's Asylum. That's what it was. Yeah. But he's one of the guards.
Is he?
Yeah, and he's like, it's kind of cool.
I would just want to watch the part with him in it.
That's the whole
funny.
reason I went to see it. And like, that's the only funny part in that. It's the only good part. And so he's like playing like a guard, and he's like watching, and he has a book about the Joker, and he's like getting him to sign it or some shit because he's trying to make money off of it. But it's like funny because I was listening to Tim Dillon talk, and he's like, man, I was on set talking to other like actors, like other guards and shit, and they were all just like, what the fuck is this? Because you just all this shit is set up, and then you just start hearing Joaquin Phoenix start singing, and they're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, they had no idea that shit was going down. And he was like, dude, they were just sitting there like, dude, this is going to bomb. Like, this is going to be bad. And so he talked to all this shit, dude. Like, it's so fucking funny. But it was probably like one of the biggest pieces of shit I'd ever seen in my life. I'm just calling it like I see it. And then it was like crazy too, because a lot of these like nerds and shit that are really into that stuff, like Marvel and DC and all that crap, they were like, it's phenomenal. And then like,
really?
Yeah, dude. And then like a bunch of bitches started getting into it because
of Lady Gaga.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, she's singing, it's amazing. I was like, no, this is a piece of shit. All right, this says a lot about us as people. Like, gotta call it like you see it, man. It's a piece of shit. But Tim Dillon's rants about it are absolutely hilarious. And Bobby Lee was bringing it up, and he was like, well, maybe it's like going to be like a cult classic. Like in 10 years' time, people are going to look back and be like, this is a masterpiece. And then Tim Dillon just shut it down. He was like, no, that's not going to happen. So he was like so Tim Dillon's been, I think he's intentionally taking shitty roles. Like as
just
a
to
joke.
make fun of it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because he was in that Thanksgiving movie or whatever, or Thanksgiving, whatever the fuck it was. It was like a shitty Thanksgiving horror movie.
Oh. And that shit was hilarious. It was terrible, but it was funny as fuck.
Yeah, he like gets his head cut off and shit in there or whatever. So he was in that, and he like talks shit about like any movie he's a part of. Like he just shits on it, just drives it into the ground, dude. And he was like, "This is a piece of shit. Don't go see." He's like telling people not to watch it and shit. And then he turned around, and he did the Joker, and he was like, "Man," he's like, "I thought I was already in the worst movie imaginable." He was like, "But I spoke too soon." He's like, "So that we're in this shitty ass Joker movie," But yeah, dude, it's funny. I would highly encourage anyone to check out Tim Dillon's rants on talking about his acting career or whatever. But speaking of acting career, man, it's kind of cool. I can't actually say what it is right now because I did have to sign an NDA. But my little acting role does come out in a couple of weeks, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you and I know what I'm talking about. But, ladies and gentlemen, I literally actually cannot say what it is right now. But I do have a small role in a very popular TV show that's coming out on Paramount Plus, possibly on February 23rd. And really important, if you want to see Justin Allen somewhere, you might want to watch episode 5. That's all I'm saying. Season 2, episode 5. Your boy will be in there, but I can't say what it is. Until it comes out, I can't say what it is because that company will sue me. Or fuck that. They're gonna sue Dumpster Diaries Podcast because that's a character.
True.
I was acting in that as a character. You got the podcaster. But then I started thinking too how funny this is. And like when it does air, like I will show clips of like, okay, this is where I'm at or whatever. I have no lines. I'm literally just like a fucking low-level background actor. But if they didn't cut the parts, there's going to be clear scenes where you can tell it's me for fucking sure, man. And like not denying it at all. But so with that, where was I going with that? I was gonna make a point with it, but anyway, I don't know. It's coming out soon, so I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it.
The point of it is we need to get sued, and then it's gonna be a big lawsuit, and then it'll be publicity.
Mm-hmm. You just want to say what the name is? Fuck it.
And tag the company.
You want to tag them?
Yeah.
Fuck them, right? All right, cool. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. Who gives a fuck? But I kind of do give a shit. I'm like, hold on.
Trump will pardon us. We're good.
You know what? I do believe in the man. Yeah, the Don. But one thing I was thinking about with that show, man, because I did like a casting call or whatever as a background actor, and it's like played during like a specific time period, like in the early 1900s. If you're listening to this still, you can tell what this fucking show is. And so anyway, and like I had to film a Chicago train scene, right? And so the thing is the fitting was done in Austin for like the uniforms and all that shit. The filming was done a few days later in Galveston, Texas. So when you see this scene, you're going to think it's wintertime in Chicago at a train station. No, dude, it's fucking Galveston, and all that shit I'm wearing, it's about 100 degrees outside, sweating my balls off for a couple of $100.
Yeah, because you did that. It was summertime.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was like July, I think it's when I did it. Yeah, dude. Yeah. But I started thinking, I was like, man, fuck, I feel like I should have probably warned these guys. Maybe in the future start doing that shit. Because I'm trying to get more acting roles just because I think it's fun. Like, it's entertaining. I don't care about actually being an actor. I just think it's funny. Like, if you know me from the show and then you see me on something that's supposed to be really serious, like, it's like, okay, cool. But I started thinking, dude, I was like, man, what if, like, somebody recognizes me? Or, like, somehow, like, this major, like, Golden Globe winning, like, television show on Paramount Plus that comes out February 23rd, somebody who works there, somehow it gets associated with Justin Allen from Dumpster Diaries Podcast. And then there's like all this content of us just saying crazy shit on the internet, dude. So I'm like a little like, oh, fuck, like, like, hey, we're just actors, right? Come on, But I don't know. We'll see. It was cool. I'll never work on that set again. Fuck those guys, man. Those guys are unprofessional as shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, they just waste everyone's fucking time. Like, it was like the most, like, I mean, like, I'll say this. When they said action and they were filming, everybody was on point. Yeah. But getting to that point, fuck me, man.
It's like, hurry up and wait shit.
Dude, I might be in this shit for 30 seconds. I was there for 14 hours. Like, wearing, like, 4 layers of clothing, like, wool coat. It's 100 degree. It literally was like 100 degrees that day. I got like a fucking goddamn top hat on and shit, you know, because it's like the early 1900s and shit. And I'm like about to have a heat stroke. And they're just coming around between takes and they're just passing out like ice cold bottles of water, like fucking napkins to wipe the sweat off. They're like, we're almost done, guys. I go, fucking, that's 6 hours in. How many times are we going to do this, you know? But it was cool, man. Like, I did enjoy it. There's a couple other like projects that I've applied for. We'll see what comes out of that. But eventually I want to start doing like, I want to start doing stupid shit, like comedy stuff. But it's like these more serious, bigger productions, it's way easier to be a background actor in that shit, you know? So... But I don't know. We'll see what fucking happens in the future, man. I want to get on some funny shit. But right now, I think it'd just be really funny to continue like getting like on serious shows like dramas, and then but this is what I do in my free time, you know. And then eventually, on a long enough time frame, somebody's gonna connect those dots somewhere, you know. So you're like, all right, cool. But yeah, man, I'm excited about it. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of weird, like, because a lot of people watch this television show, like a lot, and it's already got a fuck ton of hype and buzz coming out, and I was like, now it's not really my cup of tea. Like, it was kind of funny because like when I was on set, everyone there was just like, oh dude, have you seen,
like, fans of the show?
They were fans, and they were like, yeah, like, oh, what do you think's gonna happen? Because they didn't give us a script. They keep that lock and key. They don't want any leaks coming out, none of that shit. So like, if you ain't got lines, you're not reading that shit. And so and I even heard rumors like if they would only give people their specific parts, so they wouldn't even know like what was really going on. Like, not like your high level actors.
Like, they would know what they were supposed to say, but not the other part. Like,
they wouldn't know the story arc.
Yeah, or the context of what it was said in.
So, because they really do try to stop leaks from happening, and they were like really they kept yelling at us. They were like, "Do not take pictures on set and shit." And I was like, "No one gives a shit." Like, you know. So, but yeah, man, I don't know. I am excited about it, dude. I think it's gonna be entertaining to see. It's like, oh shit, and then we'll fucking clip it out, put it in the show, and be like, here you go. I mean, as long as we use less than I think 10 seconds, it's fair use, right? So it's like,
might as well have to put a couple of still images.
Yeah, just my ass. And I think I'm like 30 pounds heavier too when it's filmed, so I'm still like fat while I'm doing it.
Are you blonde?
No. I had to go back to like natural dark hair color, but you really wouldn't be able to tell because I'm wearing a hat too. So, and like most of the part where I'm filmed is actually at night. Okay. Yeah, because they were like, oh, you got to be here at like 7 a.m. And then we didn't really even get to the brass tacks on everything till like fucking 8, 9 o'clock at night. So, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And they're like, yeah, but we fed you. And I was like, you motherfuckers. So, you know, yeah, dude, that company, fuck that company, dude. That's all I'm saying, dude. They treat those guys like shit. I mean, background actors get treated like fucking shit. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, I kind of liked it, but like, and then it was, I don't know, I felt like I was like back in high school too. Like, cause you know, people would be like nodding off, and like some of like the productions assistants would come in and they'd be like, oh, hey, you can't sleep.
Why?
Dude, they're just
I'd be like, dude,
dicks.
are you fucking kidding me?
They're just dicks, yeah, dude. There was multiple times like I almost just walked out.
I'd been like, well, give me some motherfucking sunglasses because I'm about to be asleep.
Yeah, but there's multiple times I almost walked out. But like at the same time, I just wanted to do it because of doing the stand-up and doing this podcast and the real dark humor, raunchy side of things that we go on, the very real vulgarness and shit for like freedom of speech and all that stuff. I just think it's the ultimate joke to be associated with like a major drama. Yeah. Serious, because the scene is a very serious scene that I'm in, and then it's just like, what the fuck is this dude? You know what I mean? So you're like, oh shit. So I don't know. I can foresee my acting roles getting very limited in the future. But I don't know. I did apply. I didn't hear back, but I did apply to be on the Lioness. I haven't even watched it, but it had Morgan Freeman and Nicole Kidman in it, and I was like, all right, that'd be kind of cool. Because I may or may not know someone who knows Morgan Freeman, and Morgan Freeman may or may not smoke like an ounce of weed a day. So,
he's got to keep that voice smooth.
Yeah, dude, I think it's what it is. For real, like it is. But I don't know. It's exciting too, man. Like we'll see. But eventually, as time goes on, I'll want to get into like roles that have lines and shit. Like just. I'm not even talking about being like a main character. Like, you know, someone could just go into like a fucking coffee shop and I'd just be a goddamn barista, like just say something stupid or whatever, you know, and then be like, all right, yeah, I'll keep doing this. I don't care, you know? So, but it was cool to see like, you know, millions of dollars worth of fucking equipment and people and shit out there. Like, cause I know we have our own stuff for our studios, but like, dog, that shit's on a whole nother level. I was like, man, I realized in that moment, dude, being a director is got to be one of the most stressful fucking jobs ever. Dude, because there's 100 people moving. Yeah. And it's all under your control and shit, you know? And it's just, there's people, I mean, motherfuckers would cough, you know, like it just people had to go to the bathroom, you know, people trip, costumes get fucked up. Like it's just, that's what took so long, is it would just be this, like every little thing you could imagine would just start going wrong and shit. And I was just like, God, you do this every day? Like I've been here one day and I want to kill myself. Like I don't know, I can imagine doing this for a career. Like fuck off, dude. So I got my $200 and left. But yeah, we'll see. I was kind of curious, like, because I don't care now because it's getting close to it coming out. That's why I didn't say anything for like a long time. But I also never really said the name of it. So I was like, whatever. Don't sue me. But, you know, I'm kind of curious because I didn't tell like a lot of people, like especially in the local area. So I'm waiting for that to come out because I know a lot of people who watch that show.
Yeah.
And like, I was thinking about getting together with friends to watch it and then never like saying anything about me being in there and then just kind of like sitting and being like, does anybody pick this shit up? You know, just like an ultimate mind fuck. Like, oh, it must be a doppelganger. Who fucking knows, you know? So, I don't know. But I am excited too, man. Like, I mean, I've been working on some of our film stuff too that we're getting prepared to do. Like, I don't know. You want to tell them now a little bit about it? Fuck it, whatever. Moses and I are planning on starting to release some sketch comedy on this channel. So I'm in the process of writing a lot of it. We got a bunch of things in motion for it, but it'll be quick, like 2 to 5 minute clips. Basically, you're going to do like a whole season's worth. And that's going to be pretty fucking exciting. And if that goes well, then there's a much bigger project on the back end that would be really exciting and very time consuming to do. So, but the sketch shit I actually am really excited about because now it's kind of come out in the local area about our show because Moses and I always kept our show like on lock. We never like told, like we wouldn't tell regular people we knew about it, like even like our best friends. So we were like a year deep before like that shit even remotely started coming out.
We already had like 300 videos on YouTube before we told anyone.
Dude. It was like, oh, by the way, this is what we've been doing with all our free time. But so now it's starting to kind of come out a little bit. So now we got people that are like, hey man, like want to be on your show. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you know, there's that. And I, like, it's so funny when people ask, because now I got people, some people are very interesting and there are some that are going to be very funny. There's some that are going to be very serious or whatever. But I have to like tell them like what the show is actually like, and that I'm like, are you sure you want your face on? Because once it goes up, it's not coming down. Like, so you gotta.
Yeah, you're not gonna change your mind. Like,
yeah, we're not doing that. I'm not gonna film
once I hit submit, there's no deleting.
Yeah, dude.
My hands are tied.
Yeah, there's nothing. Just like one checkbox and it comes off the internet.
Total control to delete. I'm like, nothing we can do about it, man. It's into the void.
It's fucking out there now, dude. It's fucking out there now. So I don't know. So now there's like people like trying to like talk and be like, hey, because you know we did work with some people and it kind of came out a little bit in the local area, and so now I've been going out and I've talked to people. They'd be like, hey man, like I saw this commercial you were in for that card game, another fucking card game. We were both, Moses and I both were in. So that's kind of come out. It's been linked to the episode that we did with them, which I believe is the one before last.
Yeah.
And so there's people starting to be like, oh, is this what Justin and Moses do or whatever? So people are starting to watch it, and I'm like, oh shit. But people aren't watching a whole lot of it, like a crazy amount, because you know there's, I mean, fuck it, round up, call it 100 hours of fucking content if you include all the shorts and everything involved. I have to tell them, I'm like, dude, you need to be absolutely sure, like you have a professional job, like you know what I mean, like you're like a fucking firefighter or a cop, like you can't. You need to be really sure, like, you want to come on this show where we have literally said everything you can imagine. There's only one line that I have not said, and that's because while I would think it was funny and be used in that context, I just don't want to get in any trouble. So, but, like, outside of that, we're totally good, man. We said everything, and I'm like, so you need to be, like, real sure that's what you want to do if you want to come on here and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. I just point them to our shorts. I'm like, just watch that for 5 minutes and that'll tell you everything you need to know, you know? So people like ask me like, hey, have you said this? Have you done this? I'm like, yes, I've done all that. I did that a long time ago. So, but I don't know. I guess this cat's kind of out of the bag, man. So, are you nervous about it all?
No.
Nah, neither am I.
I think it's for myself anyway. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I have nobody to answer to.
As you and I both. We're in a very unique position where it's like
we don't have kids, so it's like our kids aren't going to school and getting made fun of and shit. Like, your dad said the N-word last night. Like, fuck.
Yeah, dude. That's where I like kind of really looked at it. Like you and I are actually in like really unique positions to be able to actually say whatever it is we want to, as long as it's legal.
Yeah.
And it abides by community standards, like on YouTube. Like we can say whatever we want.
If shit gets too crazy, I'll fucking move to Montana. I don't give a fuck. I'll leave all this behind.
I'll leave my life behind, baby. Yeah, dude. Now I do get like a little like hype of like entertainment out of it when people do bring it up like unprovoked or like especially if they recognize like, hey man, like I saw this. It's like, oh shit, there you go. You know. So, but I will say this, man, because I was kind of just worried about just crazies and stuff, you know. But I will say this, man, not one single person has like come to me being like, fuck that, what you do is bad or some shit.
Yeah, like I'm so offended.
Yeah, like that's really what I was worried about because I was like, man.
But
like,
I mean, we live in a good area. Like most of the people that live around us are gonna have a tendency to agree with what we say.
Yeah,
they just don't want to say it, which is fine.
Yeah, we'll say.
I mean, they probably have real jobs, so they can't do that shit.
You know, just like I don't know, call like Joe Biden a faggot or something. You know, I'm just like, all right, cool. But yeah, no, like I mean, most people, I would say like. For the most part, like everyone's like pretty supportive. Like a lot of them just think it's cool. They're like, hey, and then they kind of want to be a part of it. And that's why I had to give them the whole talk. Like, have you seen it? You know, like there's some wild shit in there, man. There's a lot of gold in those episodes, man. But there's some fucking wild shit in there. I'll tell you that, dude. You know, just like early episodes and shit, man. Especially like I don't know. I was going back and watching some of our old shit and everything. Like when we started, dude, we're so awkward. Like the first couple of episodes, man, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, how do like?
And the audio was dog shit.
Yeah, you're just trying to get comfortable, like talking to yourselves, like
yeah.
behind a camera and like behind a microphone. It's like, oh shit. There's like no designs in the studio. There's like nothing hanging on the walls, really. It's just
it's just
dark,
bare black wall.
It's just dark, dingy place, dude. Looks like a fucking snuff film got filmed in there or something, you know. So I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, it's just an exciting time. Like I feel like, especially with the show and like some other stuff that like I do or whatever, but especially with the show, I kind of feel like we're on the cusp of hitting like a new trajectory with it. I don't know. I am pretty excited or whatever. But that also involves like people knowing about it. So sometimes it's your neighbors. Yeah. But I will say this. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I stand behind every single thing I've ever said on the show. There's not one clip you could take out of context that I could not explain. Yeah. I mean, however like raunchy and like crazy it may sound or whatever. Yeah.
You're like, what did you mean when you said this? I'd be like, what I said? Like, there's no.
Did you watch the first 2 minutes or the last 2 minutes after that 10-second clip? You know, you're just going to rip that out of there, huh? Okay, you're going to take that? Okay, I got you. You know, we'll see. But I don't know, man. It's going pretty good, though, dude. I do have somebody lined up that we're going to talk to later this week. I am excited. It's something cool. I don't even want to, like, talk about it yet. Like, that'll just come out, but I am excited. I think it's going to be a good one. It's a regular person, but they do something I am very fond of, is all I'm saying, for a career or so, and they got some stories lined up, too. And I already talked to the guy, vetted the guy. I was like, gave him warning. I was like, you might want to watch this shit before you come on here. So, but he's all on it, you know, so he's like, I'll say it how it is. And I was like, okay, let's do this shit, man. So, but I don't know, man. All I'm saying, dude, times of change are upon us, man. Like between like I think our show's going really well. Like we're starting to make newer content, like I think more of it to some degree. And then also too, man, like especially with like the administration changing, like there's just a lot of shit going on, man. And like I'm fucking optimistic about it.
It's all positive as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah, but change is never easy. So you know, at some point that Band-Aid is going to be ripped off, and you know who's going to fill that. You know, I think it'd be funny, like especially if you go back talking about Trump, whenever he was doing the baby drill shit. They should have panned to RFK Jr.'s face. they should have just him sitting there like. Yeah, dude, because like especially Trump was just like, oh, I'm gonna keep him involved in health. I'm gonna keep him away from the environment and all that shit. Like he's good at what he does, but he just needs to stay away from the environment. Like we got this.
Honestly, man, I'm fully on board with that. Like I'm all for fucking drill. Like I want RFK to handle the healthcare shit. Like that, I do have a genuine problem with. Sure. The environment. Honestly, I'm not the most environmentally friendly person, so I'm like, whatever. If there's a chance for some money to be made, and we got to take down a tree or two, like. I'll see you later, Tree.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
But the healthcare, I can get behind that. The red dye 40, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I just tell people, man, I'd strip mine a goddamn national park if it meant turning a profit.
Yellowstone, fuck that place.
Just fuck bulldoze right through that shit. Yeah, dude, 100%. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, parks are nice. But,
Yeah.
You know, money's good too. So it just depends. It's gotta be a good.
I'm a
trade.
fan of the forest. I can't lie. I like being out there. But.
Yeah. Shit, man. I think that's like an hour, man.
Cranked
Wrap
out
it
another
up.
one.
I know, dude. Well, we'll see what happens, but today is the day of the inauguration, like we talked about. A lot of shit's changing, a lot of shit's going on, a lot of executive orders being fired off. So
Can't wait to see what those all.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I don't know. Whatever, guys. Just hang in there.